Happy Sunday, everybody. Hope everybody's weekend is going well. Wow, it's been a while. Wow, it's been a while. I'm back, y'all. About to go live with St. James. St. James, come on in. Hey, friend. Hey, Renee. Let's give him a second, guys. He's coming on in. St. James. Greetings, Renee. Hey, V's. Hey, what's up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, what's up, lady?
Nothing much. Nothing
What's
much.
going on?
Happy Sunday.
Yeah, same to you, same to you.
While the sun is out there, the sun just is gone for the day.
Right, Sundays are just
Hmm.
what it is. Hold on a second. I'm trying I'm trying to get my thing between this Bluetooth here and
All
my
right.
car. Hold on. Trying to turn that off. Oh, dang. Jesus.
Mhm. Yeah. And during the interview, I don't want to hear my echoes, after I say a
Right,
word or statement.
right, exactly. Hold on one second. Let me fix
All
my
right.
problem here.
All right.
Why isn't this not turning off? Okay, hold on one second.
All right.
Hello?
Hello. Yeah, I can
That's
hear you.
that's better. Yeah, I got my
Mhm.
AirPods in. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Uh, What's
Nice
that?
shades, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Those are David Ford, right?
Huh?
Those are David Ford shades, right?
Nah, Louis Vuitton?
Oh, oh, okay. They look like David Ford.
Yeah.
It's a black owned eye collection.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Thank you.
So how's your weekend so far?
Just getting out the studio on Sunday. I mean, it's nonstop. Just trying to get records
Mhm.
done, producing other artists and always on the hustle and the grind, man, independently.
Oh, okay. And your name St. James. This is the first time that I've seen James is spelled in a different way because
Hmm.
usually James is spelled James, but
Right.
you spell James Jaimz.
Correct.
Hmm. Okay, let's get started. What's the purpose of saint? Saint.
Well, okay. Well, from an artistic perspective, I like I feel like I'm called to lead. I know R&B music specifically has been like really like really it's just a genre that's really like
Mm-hmm.
lost its way. I believe rhythm and blues.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe like that's kind of my calling to bring that usher that kind of music back. We kind of allowed R&B, classic R&B, traditional R&B to kind of like dissipate, and we're in a whole different area with how we're hearing music sonically with auto
Mm-hmm.
tune, ambiance type production, the classic musicianship and the way music we know it to be changed a lot with the invention of the internet. A lot of these software programs that allow anyone to kind of like loop a beat, and people are actually making money off of that stuff. Nothing's wrong with it, but there's a foundation and a theory to music that's being lost because it's been even more simplified in terms of how people process it and produce it. So so I felt like I'm led to do that at St. James. So the saint part isn't about holy or religion. It's more about the way I do my business. I try to be transparent. I want to go against the grain of what the music industry is doing as a mainstream industry by just doing good business with people, being fair to people, and just working hard and producing quality music. So I consider myself a prophet in that aspect independently to help artists and independent artists do what the mainstream industry isn't allowing them to do, which is to break through with quality music.
Oh, okay. And like, speaking of auto tune, like, you mentioned in like, R&B music nowadays, do you think that, it makes some certain like, songs like, like do you think auto tune is good for certain songs or not?
Well, I really I don't knock those artists that use auto tune as a instrument. I think T-Pain did it to T-Pain was more hip hop, but he could sing. So I thought he got a bum rap for how people try to make it his fault because he introduced auto tune into the industry. Because T-Pain's really outside of Roger Troutman and the voice box, the talk box. T-Pain ushered in that auto tune sound in hip hop and got a bum rap about it, but then everybody does, and that's all they do now. So it's like, how you gonna knock somebody that was an innovator, and then now everybody, it's a standard staple in the industry that everyone uses it. So I don't knock that, but I think that it definitely makes people lazy musically, vocally. You know what I mean? You get away
Mm-hmm.
with not having to really sing, because auto tune you can sing a really dry half cocked note, and the tuner will catch you and bring you up to the correct pitch, which sometimes makes it. That's what makes the auto tune work. You have to almost sing off key before to be on key. That's how the auto tune works. Auto tune don't work if you sing if you singing on the right pitch and key. It only works when you're off or flat.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I don't think it's great for music overall, but there's a place for it, I guess.
And speaking of T-Pain, when he came out 2006, 2007, everybody like, loved him. Money in the Bank, I'm Sprung. And like,
Yeah.
after T-Pain, people like, artists wanted to come out with like, songs auto-tuning their songs. And speaking of Roger Troutman, yeah, he like had like, a little tune in his voice, but his genre of music, his specific genre was funk,
Right.
funk and jazz.
Yes, you're absolutely right. So it worked in that situation, and Roger didn't peg himself as a vocalist like singer, but he could he could arrange that talk box and those harmony notes. He knew how to put those augmented notes, those jazz notes in there that it sounded ridiculous, even though he wasn't singing the natural voice. So it was a place for it and a time for. I just think I think it's not cool that they gave T-Pain a bunch of crap over it, and now everybody does it. And his career took a little hit after a while. When the death of auto tune. Remember Jay-Z did that death of auto tune thing, and they went in all in on auto tune, man. It's crazy. And here we are 20 years later after that, we still doing auto tune.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like that's what's like affecting R&B nowadays. Nobody makes real R&B songs now.
Right.
Everybody has to sing with auto tune. And like, let us hear your real voice. Let us hear if you can sing or not. But it's the auto tune that like makes some like song like catchy.
Right. Yeah, like I said, I think auto tune is really great for the younger artists.
Mm-hmm.
It's the sonics that it's like in the 60s a certain sound, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000 and so forth. This generation, they wouldn't know what to do
Mm-hmm.
without that kind of sonics going on in terms of how they produce and process the music. So I'm just trying to bring back a style and a sound that real singing, real writing, real
Mhm.
melodic moves, and a lot of music is like this. I got the kid on the low, and she did it what I do, and it just stays right there. There's just no movement, and that's good
Mhm.
if that's. But and the kids these days love that sound. That's cool. But grown
Mhm.
folks 35 and up, they
I'm
need to.
grown folks,
Yeah.
and I'm at 35 or over.
Okay. I'm just saying from a demographic perspective, I want to stay in my lane. I'm not, if the kids like my stuff, so be it. But I'm focusing on the age group that fits the demographic and what I do. And so I think as artists, we got to get away from wanting to be loved by the whole world, because the industry doesn't
Mhm.
allow the industry's not what it used to be. There's gonna be a lot of superstars breaking through that glass
Mhm.
ceiling of sorts. It's really tough to become a really major big time artist these days.
Mhm.
They want you to have everything already in place before they even sign you to labels nowadays. You gotta have a
Yeah.
million followers, all these views, all these streams. It's like they
Mhm.
want you to do
Yeah,
all the work.
yeah. Everything is based on social media now. You need to have over 1 million followers to become a famous artist.
Right. So
It's crazy. And
it
like,
is.
speaking of like, your music, you did a lot of remakes on based on like, 90s music.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna go into this on one particular song, Who Do You Love? The first version was from Burn It, right? And the
Right.
second, and LL Cool J did a remake
Right.
and Total was
Right.
featured on his on the song.
Right.
What's your own purpose, like your own perspective of making of doing a remake of the song Who Do You Love?
I just thought that Bernard Wright was basically underrated in that situation. You don't hear people talking about him right now. He had some really pretty good solid records back in his time, and I just when I went into the crates of remaking these songs on my EP, I I wanted to dust off something that ain't no one had touched, like R&B wise. I
Mhm.
went to YouTube and researched, and I double checked to see if these songs had been covered by somebody major. Like if Avant had done one of these records, I wouldn't have touched it. Or somebody else or somebody major had touched one of these cover records, I would not remake
Sorry
it.
for cutting you off. I was hearing you sing on a few of your songs, and let me tell you something. You sound like a Vaughn.
Oh, well,
I'm
that's a
gonna be
compliment.
honest with you. You sound like a Vaughn. And
Okay,
let me
that's a
tell you
compliment.
something. That brother is super talented. I respect the Vaughn, and kudos to him.
Right.
Okay,
Yes.
continue.
Oh no, it's all good. Yeah, I love me some Avant. There's certain I can hear certain vocal. I mean, you gotta think about it. I'm influenced by a lot of different R&B singers. So you probably gonna hear a lot of Joe. I used to sing backgrounds for Joe back in the '90s. So
Oh, that's what's up.
I have an influence of a lot of really solid, strong male R&B singers, and so of course, and I love a lot of female R&B singers growing in that genre in that era too. So just good music, man. It's just time to get back to some music that allows people to be touched melodically and help them get through some tough times. We're in a
Of
real
course.
tough, we're in a real tough time in the country right now, and music is probably the only outlet that's going to really help a lot of people. I know records make me feel better. If I'm in a funky mood or something, I can play a upbeat record and feel good. Or if I want to kind of be in my feelings about something, I'll play a record that makes me put me in my feelings,
Mhm.
so I can retrospect or introspect and keep it moving.
Okay. So, okay, if you was in a group, you was in a R&B group, all male, or it could be mixed, like what will the name of your group be?
At ease.
At ease. Okay, why?
Well, I was in the military for 6 years, and I just like to put people at ease that I have to from family to friends and associates, put people at ease because we are very defensive society right now. We don't know you. We automatically got a guard up. We don't, you say the wrong thing, cancel culture. So everybody's all uptight a lot in America nowadays, and all over the world, and rightly so in certain situations. But I like to put people at ease to let people know that I focus on being a better type of human being. I know that people have been hurt, betrayed, lied to, and
Mhm.
traumatized by experiences. So I don't want to be that type of person in anyone's life. So I'm gonna be honest with you 100% of the time. I'm gonna try to be respectful and mannerable and considerate and courteous, but I'm also not gonna let you be a walk over me either. So there's a balance in life, you know.
Of course, you can be a punching bag.
Right. Yeah.
You can't be a punching bag at all.
Yeah. Trying
And
to spare. Go ahead.
mhm. And speaking of, like, the group at ease, how many members do you want to be in the group?
I think more than four people is too much. 4-part harmonies go a
So
long
it will
way.
only be four in your group.
Yeah, probably maybe one female and three guys, or two females and two guys. You know what I'm saying? Maybe at the most.
Yeah, that sounds good. And that was, like, popular, like, in the 70s. They had this big band, and like, when they first start, it'll be like, have a few amount of females, one female, and many guys.
Right.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
for an example, when Midnight Star, when they
Right.
first started, it was Belinda and eight guys.
Right.
When Atlantic Star started, it was Sharon, Bryan, and, like, I think, I don't know how many guys, but it was a lot.
Right. Too many. Yeah, they
Hmm.
had that was big budgets, man. Can you imagine traveling with all those people, the overhead, the cost, the money? It was crazy.
Hmm.
But you know what? They played live instruments. That was the thing, real instruments. You know what I'm saying? So you got to bring your bass player, guitar, your drum, and all your horns and stuff on the road. If you want to, that's just what it was. So I can only imagine some of those tour buses and some of those disagreements on those tours and buses. Woo.
Yeah, it was Earth, Wind, and Fire, then Temptation. They had a whole lot of members in, like, each of those groups back in the 70s.
Yes, you're right.
Okay, so, like, what's, like, the best thing you experience, like, while recording music?
I think the process is what I enjoy. I like the process of making a record, like from the music. Then we write we come up. Our process is we get the music together first. Then we start finding melody. We don't even write no words. Words are the last thing we worry about. We make sure the melody's right. So once we find a dope melody to go for the hook, the verse melody, and then any ad libs come after, we lay those two down, and then we worry about placing lyrics in the melody, because melody and movement makes the difference between a song and a record. A record is a finished product that you can monetize. A song is something that you finish the song and it's a song. A record puts you in a position to monetize, and not every song is a record or can be monetized. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just a process to it. That's how I look at. That's how we and my team. I say I, meaning me and my team and I. We I believe that this is a team effort. I can't do this without a team. Even Barry Gordy had a team. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And they did quality control meetings where they would sit around and vet the record before they would release it. And if you're down to your last dollar, are you going to buy a sandwich or you going to buy a record? And if the record hot, you're going to buy the record. If record ain't hot, you're going to eat that. You're going to get a sandwich, because you rather eat than worry about a song if it ain't that good.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the worst thing you've experienced while recording music as an artist?
You know, people in the studio, it's a weird concept. If you don't have a really solid team that you respect, and there are people that have studio sessions with just too many people in the room or in the studio while you're trying to work, and you'll get distracted. And the worst things happen to me in studios is someone kind of critiquing what I'm doing when I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, the beauty of creating songs is there's no blueprint, there's no format to how you want your record to be. You can do what you want to do, especially independently. You can make the record whatever you want to, and somebody in there saying some old stuff, or sometimes you just gotta shut people out and get out the studio, because the negativity. You don't need negativity, because it's not easy doing this music stuff. It's not easy to record. It's not easy to be a recording artist. Not everybody that goes in the studio that records music can record. They can sing, but they don't know how to record. I'm a recording artist. I know how to record and sing. And that's the hardest thing for a lot of artists to recognize. Some people can sing live one time pad, they kill it. Put them in the studio and tell them to sing the same lines that they sang live in a recording type of fashion, and they will not be able to do it without taking forever.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
so I don't like people in the studio that's with negative energy and judgmental disrespect, because I think we know you can blow, but can you cut a record though? And not everybody can do
Mm-hmm.
that. So,
Yeah, that is so true. And speaking of like, performing live, what was it like? Like, what was going through your mind in each of your live showcases?
well, if you're not nervous, then you're probably a little cockier than you should be and too confident. So I think a little bit of nervousness and butterflies and apprehension and anxiety is it keeps you on your toes and forces you to continue to work harder to get better. So I always get this little nervous energy, and then I know and I remind myself that I know I can do this. I'm talented. I've done it a million times. Go out there and kill it, and be positive. So,
Mhm. Yeah, that's it. Okay, what advice would you give to your younger self?
man, that's a good question. Well, I would tell my younger self, because you got to remember, at my age, I'm 53 years old, which I always say in my interviews. I want people to know that I'm not impacted by ageism. I know in America we kind of shame people, age shame people. If they're a certain age, you're old, or if you're too old to be doing this. But Charlie Wilson and older Smokey Robinson's 80 some years old, still sing. I mean, the point is, you're never too old to.
They did an EP together.
Right. You're never too old to do what you love. And there's
Hmm.
a demographic and an audience for it. So what I would tell my younger self is to learn the business. We didn't have the internet the way we do now to research and Google and chat rooms and blogs and stuff. So I would tell my younger self to learn the business, whether that was a mentorship, internship at a record label or whatever. Learn the business side of me, the publishing, licensing, all of that stuff. I would tell my younger self to learn the business so that my older self now would have already been successful in the business, because I would have knew what to do that I didn't do. I mean, I got for some songs and people took my publishing, my rights. I didn't know how to protect myself. I would go back in time machine and probably smack myself upside my head. Hey, boy,
Hmm.
I would give myself a
Yeah.
pop upside the head. Hey, listen, learn and listen.
And people always like wish that they would go back in time and change themselves, but it's never
Hmm.
too late to make a change.
Right,
It's never
absolutely.
too late to make a change.
Right.
So, St. James, tell them about your new EP. Tell the people on the live about your new EP.
Okay, the new EP is called Throwback the Covers. Throwback the Covers, Volume One, and it's 6 songs. EPs consist of six to seven songs. I got 6 bangers on there, including Being Gentle, which is more of a derivative remake than an actual cover. Now the other 5 songs are cover songs. Being Gentle is a derivative. I took a little bit of the original song by Being Gentle, Calling Your Name by Frederick, and I did a
Mhm.
derivative version of it. I wrote some different verses and stuff and arrangements. The original author and composer, Jerry Mims, is a friend of mine. He gave me 50% publishing rights to my version of his old song. Most people won't even do that. That's unheard of in the music industry. Somebody giving you 50% rights to your remix.
Mhm.
Normally, you got to pay for it. Normally you got to pay
Mhm.
for rights and all that stuff. So I've been blessed, and the EP is really dope. Throwback the Covers. It'll take you back to some times of some old school music, throwback music, whatever you want to call it. But with a fresh sound. So it is doing good. We doing well on streams. Uh, we have two. I have one number one indie soul record with Being Gentle, and I just found out today I'm number 26 on the indie soul charts for Baby Come to Me, another cover of James Ingram, Patty Austin.
Oh, okay. All right. Amazing.
Really is.
Once again, thank you so much for
Thank you.
coming to my live, talking
Yes.
to me, telling the people what music is really about. And we just gonna keep praying to God that real R&B comes back in this new decade.
For real. Say that. Yes, I'm with you. Amen to that. I second that. So you guys can find me on saintjaimz.com, my official website. I'm on IG, Saint Jaimz, SaintJaimz, on all digital platforms. Just search the name Saint Jaimz, and anything, all my catalogs there. I got a lot of new music coming out. I got other artists. I'm also a producer, and I run an independent label. So if you're looking to get with to
Mm-hmm.
partner, if you're looking to partner with someone to get your single put out, and some
Mm-hmm.
traction, or to co-produce something, I'm not looking to sign people to record deals. Them days is over. You got to invest in your own self, but at the same time, we can become partners in your product to get it to a place that you probably haven't been before, and maybe we can help each other out. So if you're interested, I got my own label, and I got a lot of independent artists I'm putting out under the Household Name Entertainment tag and St. James Presents. So stay on the lookout for those artists coming out. Looking forward to that. You'll see it.
Okay. All right. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
Enjoy the Cali sun out there. And I'm mad right now because I wish I was still underneath the sun right now. I need
It's
hot weather right now.
Hey, the sun will come up tomorrow. It's always gonna rise. So you got the spring to look forward to. It's coming.
All right.
All right. Thank you
All
so much.
right.
All right.
All right.
Appreciate
Enjoy
you.
the rest of your evening.
You too. Hey,
All
everybody.
right,
Thank you so
James.
much. Thank you, everybody. Peace.
All right.
All right.